Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today is my second episode, although I don't know what kind of sequence it's going to be of my streaming. I have done one introductory, and my friend and colleagues given me some feedback on how I should shorten the time and length of what I talk and be more focused on what I talk about, which is what I would like to do. So welcome to Ding's Crypto Space. Today, I would like to just make very quick comments and share my thoughts on what took place yesterday on the B plan talk or discussion among Elon Musk, Cathie Wood, and Jack Dorsey regarding the Bitcoin mining topic. But they actually covered a lot of different topics. So thanks very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe or join Discord or follow me on Twitter. The information should be down below in the description of the video. So let's get started. So I don't know how many of you have followed this entire conversation, which took around 17 minutes, so just over an hour. And each of them sort of talked evenly among the time and each topic. Now, I don't remember some of the topics, but I do remember some of the key points I would like to make some comments on. So let's start with Elon Musk, because he seems to be under the spotlight of everything. Once he made the announcement of Tesla buying crypto and Bitcoin, and then again with how he favored Dogecoin, etc. And even when at the beginning of May, he made a comment to say that because Bitcoin is consuming too much energy mining in its mining process, that Tesla is not going to accept Bitcoin payment. So that obviously created a whole bunch of drama and then reflected, or to some extent reflecting the price of the Bitcoin drops. Now, what Elon Musk said yesterday was when he disclosed his personal portfolio, which include a lot of Bitcoin, or a good proportion of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge. Now, we know even on Twitter, there was a little conversation he had with Votela Buckling about whether Ethereum will be taking over of Bitcoin. And that was quite interesting, if you recall. So basically, Vitalik was saying if Bitcoin doesn't get improved with technology, or somehow Ethereum will take over, basically, from how it's developing. And I think Elon Musk replied and said that it is because you're afraid of something or the other. I can't remember what exactly he said, but it was like quite defensive of Bitcoin. But then it's interesting to discover yesterday that he actually has Ethereum in his personal portfolio, as well as Doge. And also he disclosed that the SpaceX, so the company that, not Tesla, the other company that he owns, also has cryptocurrency, I think largely Bitcoin or only Bitcoin. So there will probably be a second quarter of financial report this year, and I'll be interested to find out what's going on, and what's happening with all these companies and his personal portfolio. I'm sure there will be a lot of people wanting to know that. And my comments is that to be honest, it is really good that there are so many big people, big player, serious corporation owners from different industries that are coming into the crypto space, which is brilliant. And it's definitely going to do everybody good over a long term, for all investors like us, for people in those countries that are looking at using Bitcoin as their legal currency, etc. It's all going to be really good. But as an individual, I don't really care too much about what Elon Musk says on Twitter or do on a short term, because where we stand and where he stands, we don't know what he's facing. We might be able to guess what kind of pressure he's getting from having to say, like, not accepting Bitcoin because of the energy consuming situation, or dirty code, or whatever it may be. That I was pretty skeptical about it because I was in China from last December to end of April. Okay, this year, and I was, on my WeChat social media. There were loads of news about Tesla cars in China, and most of them were negative towards how problematic it is, and with user cases. And then there was then articles trying to explain how some of the news were flawed or some of the information wasn't as accurate as it should be, etc. I didn't really go into details about it because, I don't drive a Tesla car. I have a driving license when I was 19, but I haven't really drove for quite a number of years. So I'm not really into cars now. But Tesla is cool. And I took mom to Guangzhou, and we were actually picked up by a Tesla T or X. Apologize for car lovers. I just it's just like the big one that you can sit 6 people in, and then the door opens like that. And it was really nice, very very fancy. But anyway, the overall picture I got was that Tesla was having a bit of trouble in China, and coincidentally, after Elon Musk announced that Tesla is no longer accepting Bitcoin because of the energy problem. I think it's just a week or 2 weeks later, the Chinese government made an announcement to say that all the Bitcoin mining needs to be shut down and the miners have to stop their business because it's really bad for the environment, etc. I'm sure there are a lot of other agendas behind this whole course of actions, but it just made me think that what Elon Musk said or did is to some extent linked to this government announcement as well. And I was, a little bit, frustrated and upset about it, but it's been 2 months now since the announcement, so we're just going to live with it and see how things go, right? But what I want to say is, Elon Musk might say things because of his, shareholder fund company, maybe government pressure, maybe some other reasons. And as a market practitioner, participator like us, we shouldn't be too affected emotionally, in particular, by that, and also not affected in terms of our the action we take in terms of buying or selling our cryptos, for sure. So just take it with a light salt. Have your own personal sort of opinion if you have, if you think you know enough about it. Just don't panic on anything. I mean, I was pretty certain. I was 99% certain before yesterday's talk that Elon Musk wouldn't have sold any cryptocurrency that he owns. Neither does Tesla would. And I was pretty much right? He said he's a pumper. He might be a pumper, but he's not a dumper. And you guess why I would say that? It is also because I was listening to Michael Saylor the other day about one of his interviews a couple of months ago, I believe, and he mentioned how he introduced Bitcoin to Elon Musk. Maybe Elon Musk was introduced Bitcoin by Cathie Wood or someone else as well. But Michael Saylor's view for holding Bitcoin, he's a solid hodler, so he's not going to tell Elon Musk to trade, right? And Elon Musk doesn't need to do that. So that forms part of the reason why I was pretty strongly believe that Tesla or SpaceX or Elon Musk are not going to be a short-term trader in this space. These people would see things very differently because where they are. So that was my thoughts on Elon Musk. And then he was really sort of juggling and laughing about things when he talked, especially Dogecoin and then at 1 second he wasn't even sure whether he should mention Ethereum first or Doge, and then he kind of said if Ethereum and Doge like that. It was really funny, I thought. I like the way that he's relaxed and he's a bit jokey and not too serious, and he's pretty straightforward in that way, which was interesting. But it also says like how uncertain he was towards what he's going to talk about. It's as if just he doesn't. I mean, there were a lot of people in the comments saying, I was watching this live talk on a YouTuber I was following, and he had like loads of fans was typing up, right? And there were people just saying like Elon Musk didn't know what he was talking about, and I tend to agree with it as well. It was just really funny. So then secondly, talk about Cathie Wood. I mean, she's a woman I really start to pay huge respect now. I think, as a woman, and how small amount of women there are in the crypto space, and Cathie Wood, she's a serious investor. She's not just in the crypto space. She looks at things like Michael Saylor, but obviously in a different angle as well. And she was the only person that was very well structured in her talk. And the most impressive topic she touched base on is actually ESG. Now, a lot of people don't even know what ESG is. Now, ESG is environmental, social, and corporate governance. And even I say that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. So I was watching another YouTuber, Mandarin speaking YouTuber, and he kind of thought, oh, that's boring. And then also, a lot of people just don't get it because they don't think that's to do with them. Most people in the space wants to make money, right? And it's true. And they only care about information on how those information might impact the price of the coins or particular projects, but they don't really get the fact why Cathie Wood would talk about ESG. And that's just because we're standing in different places, and the height that people like Cathie stand, she's got to not only look for a long-term investment to increase the wealth or maintain the wealth, she also looks at what's happening present to do with, who's in power of the government or across the world, what might be happening, what policies are now and, the near future, and what are all these big institutions and organizations pay attention to that think are most important regulation and criteria in terms of what these business needs to go past to meet in order to be successful. And ESG is just one of the key words that in a lot of industry that appears. So if you're new to ESG, like I have full-time job, work in the real estate development industry, property development industry. And our type of development is PPP. So it stands for private-public partnership or public-private partnership, PPP. So we work with government very closely. So we come across with working with the Environment Agency, National Railway, people from government responsible for roads, and local council, and so on and so forth. And things like health and well-being, community engagement, environment, social responsibility, and governance are like, the most high frequently appearing words. And these are things those people at those level care about. And if you're doing a bigger scale project or scheme, you've got to really understand this field and meet the requirements, and do your social responsibility as a corporation. And that's a lot of people don't understand. Even they're paying attention, they're spending time on watching the video. It's like they're only looking for the relevant information that affects them like immediately, rather than understand a bigger picture. Now, I'm not saying I understand the whole picture, but I'm trying to, but also some source of information I am able to get from other places, like my workplace or maybe some other, observation. I just think it's important for everybody to actually zoom out, like as if you're looking at, the Bitcoin charts going up and down, a roller coaster. But if you zoom really out, everything is a straight line, or a smaller, wobble line. But you've got to know what's the big picture, right? You've got to look at what's going to happen in the future and so on. And that's what Cathie Wood really valuable content that she talked about yesterday. Now the last person I'm making comments on is Jack Dorsey. Now I have to admit I haven't used Twitter for too long, although Twitter has been there forever. I do enjoy using it more recently when I'm really following what's happening in the crypto space. And there's only one thing that I would like to make comments on, apart from we were all really curious on where Jack is, because he's obviously somewhere tropical with his with a fan like behind him and having a cold drink that like everybody was looking at him like saying, "Wow, you're running out of your drink." So he's obviously chilling out somewhere. And the only thing I think Elon Musk is very practical, that he made an announcement to say Tesla is going to accept Bitcoin, right? And then he later on maybe had some pressure from somewhere a different way. And then he says Tesla is not going to accept Bitcoin because of the environment issue. So he made it really clear. Obviously, this reason caused it. And then he said, okay, if we have 50% green energy of Bitcoin mining, we are going to accept Bitcoin payment. So in principle, and on balance, he said he's going to be really supporting of crypto, right? He does. Now, we know that it's more for corporate level and social, all these governance level that he might have to compromise on things, as we need to understand that. Now, so Elon tricked Jack to say, look, Twitter has been a very good supporter of the crypto space. All this discussion, all these fires are on Twitter first and always. So Elon said to Jack, like, would Twitter, how are you gonna support cryptocurrency through your business, through Twitter? Are you gonna consider accepting cryptocurrency, paying the advertisement on Twitter? And Jack is just like didn't know what to answer, so he just drifted off and told about something else. And then he kind of like said that I would rather not having any advertise on Twitter. It's like regardless, we just want to know, as a corporate level, are you going to accept it or not? I mean, because we know there are so many companies, organizations in different industries actually accept cryptocurrencies, right? So you can buy crypto. You can use crypto to buy like house, holidays, cars, different stuff, And Jack just seemed to be really defensive of this question, which to me it's like saying no, but maybe there are other level of things behind it. But that's, to me, it's quite obvious that it's like a no, like he's not going to accept cryptocurrency on Twitter, and there must be reason behind it. So Jack, I would probably like to dig something more out of what's happening with him or Twitter. Elon Musk is like everywhere. You can't really avoid him if you're in the space. Like, people just love talking about him. And then Cathie Wood is definitely someone I'm gonna really follow and take a very serious look of her. So that's my comments of yesterday's B plan talk among Cathie Wood, Elon Musk, and Jack Dorsey. And I still talk quite a bit. It's 18 minutes and a half, so I'm gonna stop now. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and see you next time. Bye.